The Home Office Immigration Enforcement Team on the 1st of March 2023 arrested 6 illegal immigrants on Alma Road in Southampton. These 6 immigrants were arrested in a property along Alma's Road in Southampton. These people are said to have been from Botswana and Zimbabwe. No disrespect to any country, because it can be from any country. It doesn't matter where the person or where they are from. It is just the people who have been caught. I feel like I have to make this video because I've got so many questions, and I know so many people who thinks they can come into the UK on a visit visa or come into the country illegally and find their way because some other people have done it and they've been successful. They believe they can also do it. I'm just bringing this awareness for you to know that the Home Office are watching, they are going about. Wherever you're working, your place of work can be raided at any time, because there are people who get paid to raid places. There are people who get paid to arrest people who are illegal in the country. So these 6 people were working actually in care, and that is why I got interested. They are working with vulnerable people. I don't know how they manage to be able to convince the employer, and I don't know how the employer agreed. I don't know why he or she agreed to employ them, knowing fully well that they are illegal in the country. They have no right to work. The thing is, most employers, they exploit people. They believe the fact that they know that these people are not legal in the country. So what they do is they employ them to work in different sectors, in agriculture, in health, in construction, in sales, so many areas. This particular one happened in care. They work with vulnerable older people. So they work in care. That means they're taking care of elderly people, which, if you're working with older people in the UK, definitely most time you are supposed to do police check, police clearance. I don't know how they manage to boycott that, although, of course, because they are illegal, the employer must have been involved in everything, and he or she knows that these people are illegal, and they know the way to go about things like this. And one thing I notice is, once they employ people who are illegal, of course, because they know that they have to pay tax and the government monitors their account, they will not pay into their account. So they go by the back the corner, and they do all the activities that they do. All the people arrested were between ages 30 and 55. 3 of them have been reported to have been detained, awaiting their removal from the UK. That means after their arrest, after some time, after some days, I don't know, after all the arrangement, they would then be repatriated back to their countries. That's deported. One of them pleaded or agreed to go under the voluntary service, that's leaving the UK voluntarily. This scheme, or this is aimed at asylum seekers who want to go back to their country voluntarily. They will be helped, I think, even with the flight to go back to their country, while the other one was granted bail, immigration bail, temporarily. I don't know what will be the end result of the 6th person. Their offense is stated to be mostly document offenses. Of course, if you've come to the UK illegally, there's very high tendency that you will not have all your proper documents, and the fact that they are actually working and they were caught while working is a big crime. The thing is, I've heard of employers who lose their license even if they had the right to employ these people. Like, if they have the right to employ you and you have paid to come to the UK, you've bought certificate of sponsorship, or you've lobbied your way into getting a job, anything that is illegal. This video is not to discourage anybody. It is just to create the awareness for you to know that the UK is not very friendly with illegal immigrants. You will know Suella Braverman and her aim to, eradicate illegal immigrants from the UK. She doesn't even want asylum seekers, talk less of illegal immigrants and those who have not even sought asylum. She really wants to get them out of the UK. I'm not saying this is possible, and I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just trying for you to understand that this is happening, and in case you're planning on migrating even to any country through these routes, illegal routes, I would advise you to please think very well, because once you're caught, you're not only going to be deported, the stress of you then having to, find your way back, and it will affect your visa, it will affect your subsequent visas, it will be on your passport, it will be on your record that you were in the country illegally. If you come to the the UK on a visit visa, I will use this opportunity to say you're not allowed, you're not supposed to be working on a visitor visa. You shouldn't even be looking for a job on a visitor's visa because you've said you're coming to visit. You've shown the proof that you're coming to visit. Maybe you've shown where you're going to be staying, the hotels you'll be staying, or the places you'll be visiting. So how come all of a sudden you're now looking for a job? And I've actually heard of cases where some people got visitor visa, and at the airport, they've even got into the UK. At the point of entry in the UK, they searched their bag and found their original documents, and then they discover that they're like, why will you be coming to the UK if you're coming to visit? Why do you have all your original document with you? And they were sent back to their country. I'm not saying this will happen to you. I'm just saying we have to be very careful and be aware that this is a possibility. There are so many laws that protect not just vulnerable people who these illegal immigrants were working for or working with. There's a law, or there are so many laws that is against employers employing illegal immigrants or employers employing people that do not have a right to work. Meaning, even if you're in the UK on a visitor visa, you do not have any right to work. Those people, some of them do go to apply for jobs, and once those employers are being caught, they have unlimited fines. I've heard of 10,000, I've heard of 20,000, and then the person who has been caught can face a jail term of up to 3 years in jail for breaking the law or coming into the UK or working illegally. The employee or the illegal immigrant, when caught, have the tendency to face up to 5 years in jail for coming to the UK illegally, one, or for working without proper work permit or work visa, not allowed to work, but you're working, you've been caught, you can go to jail for up to 5 good years, and the person that employed you will be fined. They'll face their consequences. Some employers will lose their license, they'll lose so many opportunities. It will affect not just you, it will affect your employer, it will affect your family. So at some point, sometimes I'm like, what is the point? Why will you want to go into a country illegally? You know, if you want to work in the UK, the most important thing is you have to get a job. You need to get a job from the country that you're applying from. It's a point-based system, so you need to meet all the 70-point requirements. You have to be able to provide your proof of English, which can be either through NARIC, IELTS, OET, English exam that is acceptable by whatever job you're coming to do. For your immigration as well, you have to be able to prove your English. You have to be able to have gotten a job from an A-rated employer. That means an employer that can sponsor you, an employer that is approved and known in the UK. You need to provide your police clearance from any country you have lived or resided in the past 10 years. You have to provide police clearance. You have to provide tuberculosis results, negative tuberculosis results. You have to provide your certificate of sponsorship, which will be given to you by your employer. Forget those ones that people are buying certificate of sponsorship, or people are selling certificate of sponsorship, or telling you to give them money and then they will issue certificate of sponsorship. How can you prove if those certificates are correct, if they are legit? What if they are wrong? What if they are not original? What if they are fake? And then you've decided to use it to apply for a visa. Even if mistakenly the visa is granted, what will happen at the point of entry? What will happen years to come when you're in the UK? It is a very, very risky move that I will not encourage you to take. So you need to already have your certificate of sponsorship from a verified employer. You need to have a job offer letter from a UK-based company for you to use all these documents and your international passport and any other proof of whatever you want to prove, other additional document for you to then add. You then need to add them to be able to get your 70 point, and that is how you can work in the UK. Except you're a dependent, or you're on a family visa, or you're on every other or different other forms of visa apart from a visiting visa, you can come to the UK to work. Or if you're a dependent, you can work once you're in the UK. So just make sure you try to be legal, try to have your documents, make your research, don't just come illegally, because these are some of the things that you may face, God forbid, if you take that adventure and you eventually get here. You'll be running about, you'll be working illegally, you'll be scared. I don't think it's worth the stress. That is all I've come to tell you, and I've come to advise you. Just to be very careful in this UK. Thank you so much for watching. I love you to the moon and back. Please remember to subscribe to this channel for more information, for more tips, more advice, and more breaking news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Until then, stay safe, good luck, and bye.